Child, I keep deep breathing and shit. My body trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. My body over here. My body over here singing like the Isley brother. My body is singing like Ronald Isley. What the fuck is going on between the skin and my home? My spirit is replying, baby, wait, let me explain before you start to point your cane. My soul is like, oh, it's about to be some shit. Greetings, family, child. First and foremost, I've gotten a lot of responses to this. This is not this is a tapestry. I had it made from my Lenza. I had it made. As you can see, it says Cosmic by Nature. And that's the same place I got my bed spread. I have 3 blankets that I had made from it. I have shower curtains that I had made. And when I get all of this, like the one in my guest bathroom, all of that is the shower curtain is up and shit. But I had my liner up in my bathroom, but I took it down because I'm gonna put it all together, and put it back up there. But um, child, let's talk about it. First of all, yeah, so that's a tapestry. I also have one in my office as well that's behind me. You probably seen the other day. Drinking water. Just was eating some of this yogurt. Um, Let me tell you something. I took some Adderall today. What up, TJ? I took Adderall earlier today, and first of all, I've talked to several people about it, um, and what it is, how it affects them. Has anybody ever taken it? Let me tell y'all something. The one thing I'm thinking it's going to take, like the chick told me, I said, so how long does it take for you to feel the effects of it, for it to do what it needs to do? She said, you have never taken it, so it's going to be immediate for you. I'm like, okay. So I'm like thinking it's probably going to take 24 to 48 hours for me to really know. The only side effect that I've been feeling all day is I keep wanting to cry. I keep wanting to cry. I don't know why I feel very emotional. The chick was like, I talked to one of the ladies. She was like, it heightens everything. Okay. Does not take a week, Jean. Doesn't. I've been wanting to cry all day. I feel like I don't know what the fuck I feel. Okay. I feel focused, but I also felt like I could run a marathon, you know? But I keep feeling like I want to cry. So I was in there, even on the toilet, like, Yehuda's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I love you, spirit. I love you. I love you. Yehuda's like, okay. I'm like, what the fuck? So I call her and I'm asking her about it. And she's like, I've never experienced that, but it'll start to balance you out over the next few days. I'm like, cause what the fuck? Like, I don't feel depressed or sad. I feel like I love everybody. I love everybody and I want to tell you I love you. Like, I can't, Nalia. Like, I want to cry and I can't. Honestly, Yehuda was like, don't start this shit. I'm like, okay, let me get up. Like, cause it's like I don't. That's why I said my. That's why I was saying my body is over here like, what the fuck is going on between the skin and my own? I don't know. I don't know. Like I'm not depressed. I feel like I can get some shit done, but I feel like maybe I need to take a half of one a day, cause that whole one, like, it's so many things I know I need to do, but I want to go to sleep too because I'm sleepy. I did not go to sleep till after 6 this rising, and then I woke up at 8 something. I went right back to sleep. I woke up at 10 something, went right back to sleep. I woke up at 11 something, and then I got up, and I immediately went to the bathroom. And when I went to the bathroom, I'm like, I got to take a bath. I got to make this boil bust because it's hurting. Because I took the wrapping off of it like at 4 this morning because I was up working, watching BMF that got me in a complete chokehold. Now I'm on season 2. Not to mention this blend of herbs that I have is to help you to focus and concentrate, to cleanse your body out and different things like that. And so that's another reason why I've been focused on doing the cards and not being able to really sleep because of the herb blend that I fucking have that I've been smoking. So I was up to like 6 this rising, didn't want to go to bed. I had to force myself to go to bed. I'm this kind of person. I'm still working and I'm like, what happened? Rewinded. Like, it's ridiculous. It's sickening. Um, but right now I feel like I'm tired, but I feel like my body is fighting the sleep. I feel like internally I'm fighting and I don't know what the fuck is happening. You see, I feel like I wanted to sleep for some reason, couldn't, and ended up laughing at point I was crying. It was wow. I'll tell you. Listen, that's how I feel like. I just need to lay down for a minute and start working back on my cards again. And like, so I got up, like I said, and when I got up off the toilet, um, I looked to flush it and it was blood all on the toilet. You know, I don't get a menstrual. So I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, it busted. The boil busted. Like, yes. Okay. So I clean off the toilet and shit. And so then I start to clean the tub out because I'm about to sit down in it. And so my tub is huge. First of all, let me say that. My tub is really fucking huge. And it's not a round tub. It is just a regular tub, but it's wide and it's super deep. Um, like seriously could fit 3 people in my tub. You feel me? Or a one really, really huge motherfucker and another motherfucker, normal bill. And so I'm cleaning out the tub and I'm like, I got to get in this water, hot water. So I'm running my bath and then I put some tea tree oil in the water. You know, you said I made you nervous when I looked at this girl, because I don't get a cycle or no shit. So I I'm like, okay, I got to get in this fucking water. And the water, as it was still running, I just got in. Um, but I had been putting that tea tree oil on it as well. When I got in and I sat down in this tub, I could see my skin coming off in the water. And all of a sudden, I could see all of the stuff start to come out. It was draining inside of the water, like chunks of my skin was breaking off, coming off in the water. I'm like, oh my fucking God. Every time I would move my thigh, I could see it coming out. I said, this is crazy. And it's still this big. Because it was draining, like it drained a lot, but it didn't drain enough. You know what I mean? Like I need this motherfucker to drain and go the fuck away. For real. Um, I'm so happy it didn't stink because I've had some that smells like, oh my God, just crazy smell. Like, but it didn't. And I expected for it to because it's the illness that's coming out of my body. So I was out of the gauze stuff. So I'm like, fuck, I gotta go to the store. But I'm like, I need to lay down for a minute because this motherfucker is hurting on 13,000. You hear me? So I have some like the little bandagey things, the little white bandagey things I put on it. I put some more tea tree oil on it, and I put some band-aids around it because I didn't have my gauze to wrap it. So I laid down for a while and I could feel it draining. And I keep pushing it and squeezing it, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get it to come out. I'm laid on my bed on a towel. You know what I mean? Because I'm just like, this is crazy. Like, I can't even. And so I had to go to the store. So I just ran to the fucking store, bro. And I'm talking to Aubrey on the phone. She calls me. Mind you, the Adderall has already kicked in at that point. So my thigh is this fucking big, and I got two gauzy things on it, and like it's because it's this big, and my thighs are rubbing. And even though I got on the tights, trying to hold, I put on tights, trying to hold it together. The motherfucker was hurting so bad still and just big, and I'm like, please, spirit, because pain will make you kill somebody. Do you know that? Pain will make you kill some motherfucking body. It will take you the fuck completely out of your mind. Pain will. Because you can't make the pain stop. You feel me? And my daughter asked me yesterday, she said, do you have anything to take? And I'm like, I got, some Tylenol, some Motrin or whatever. And she was like, I hate this for you. So I went and bought some, it's called Benadine spray. It's a cleaner, but it's also like a pain relief. It's supposed to especially tooth pain, Fonzo. Oh, child. A toothache? What? Had me up at 7 in the morning on the bus, sitting out front at 8 in the morning, at the dentist, crying before they even opened. They was pulling up. I said, you got to take it out. They was like, he's not here today. He was at Northgate Mall. So I had to get and catch a bus. I didn't even have enough money to get home. I didn't even give a fuck how I was getting home. Somebody had to take that tooth out. They were generous enough to give me money to get on a motherfucking bus because I had nothing. I didn't give a fuck if I had to live out there, bitch. Somebody got to take this tooth out my mouth. So I got on the motherfucking bus. It was like the 17 or 19 type shit. And I went over to Northgate Mall where the doctor was at. And he was like, it's out of my best interest to take it out. I said, it must come out. I can feel it. No, you can't feel nothing. You're going to pull it today. He made me sign a waiver saying that he was going to pull the tooth out. It was this one. He was going to pull the tooth out against his best judgment. I wouldn't give a fuck. I signed it. I don't care. You're going to take this out. He pulls the tooth out and he said, oh my God. He's talking to the dental hygienist or whatever. It was decayed. He said, the tooth is decayed. Well, I'm glad I took it out then. What? Now, why was it decayed? Because I used to have my tongue pierced. I used to have my tongue pierced 2 or 3 times. I had it pierced 3 times. But I was eating noodles one day, ramen noodles, and I bit, like chewing the noodles, and I then bit my tongue ring. And I bit, and my tooth broke, which left a hole in my tooth. And so for 2 years, I would, try to keep it cleaned out. I didn't go to the dentist for that. And so food would get in it. And I kept trying to like keep it cleaned out and shit. Bitch. It decayed the motherfucking tooth. I'm saying 2 years. It might have been like a year or a year and a half, but 2 years. I was in so much pain. I was balled up on the bed. I lived in the projects. I had Toddy. I said, please, run, go to one of the neighbors and see if they got something for pain. Like, what? I was at that point, Jerrielle, where I could have took some pliers and pulled that bitch out. Like, it needed to stop. I needed that pain to stop. I could not take it. In labor, when I was in labor with Toddy, I blacked out. I blacked out. I was throwing up, hyperventilating. I blacked out. Another something took over. I don't even remember because I blacked the fuck out. That pain, what? Another part of me will take over. I'm telling you, I was in that bed day before yesterday, like about to cry. Like, no, it has to bust, spirit. It has to bust. It has to come out. Yeah, I feel like I gotta take one and a half of one of them a day. Cause bitch, I feel like I have drank coffee and not in a jittery way, but like I feel no, I got to take a half of one. Okay, I got to let it register to my body. My body is like, what the fuck is this? What is happening? What is happening? But I just sprayed the wiped it. I cleaned it off because I got this wound cleaner. So I cleaned it and sterilized it. I went bought the witch hazel like somebody had told me to in the chat. One of the cousins said buy some witch hazel, so I went. I done bought like 5 or 6 things of wrapping gauze, a big ass box of gauze. I bought witch hazel. I had to buy gloves. Like, I was in there. I was talking to Aubrey on the phone. Child, I done bought all this shit. I did not give a fuck. This, I need to do something to this. And so I sprayed the wound cleaner and I cleaned it off. And then I opened up the big, because I went and bought the big gauze that's like bigger than my hand type shit. And I poured all the witch hazel, not all of it, of course, you know what I'm saying. I poured the witch hazel on, you know, Aubrey, because I was on the phone with you, like, please help. I feel like I'm going to cry and my boil hurts. So I don't know if it's, I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I'm telling you, I'm about to lay down because I'm on 17,000 right now. And so I cleaned it off. I put the witch hazel on the gauze and I put it on there and I wrapped it. Like my little thigh is wrapped the fuck up. I would show you, but I ain't got on no panties. And so nobody wants to see that. I mean, somebody might want to see it. I don't know, but we can't do that. So when I tell you this motherfucker been hurting, like my emotions have been all over the fucking place today. One, because the boil hurts so bad I can kill. Two, I'm so proud of myself for my tarot cards. When I tell you they are fire, they are really the fuck fire. I cannot wait till they're complete and in the process of creation, you know, with the manufacturer or whatever. Three, I done took this motherfucking Adderall that has had my emotions feeling like I love everybody. Aubrey and I was on the phone and I'm just telling her how much I love her. And she called me to tell me how much she loved me. And when she told me, I told her. And we just had like an hour-long conversation about love and how we love people and you know, what we bring to the world and how we like we love how everything is aligning. And then on top of that, I really, really want to fight Big Meech's parents in BMF. I want to fight them. I'm so glad they finally killed Lamar. I'm pissed that they killed Kato, but in real life, she didn't get killed because I Googled her. She's still living. Well, she was at the time of when I Googled, you know. She was still alive. They had her picture up because I wanted to know if she really got killed. No, Kato is really alive in real life. So she didn't get killed at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like they showed in BMF. But like I know Lil Meech, which is Big Meech, real son. He's so cute. I love his voice. But that Terry T, girl, it's something about that little wandering eye that makes him so fine to me. I'm that kind of motherfucker. When Method Man used to wear the blind eye, he was so sexy to me. Like, oh my God, he is blind in one eye. That is so sexy. It never worked for Fetty Wap. It never worked. I'm sorry. But this motherfucker, I don't know. He is really fine. And then when you realize they like 19 and 17 years old at these points, child. And so now I done went all the way all night till this morning, and now I have now entered season two. I started from season one last night. I am now in season two. And so on the first episode, halfway through, bitch, I'm so glad they didn't kill Lamar, like I said. But now they have now introduced, what's his name? K10? I think his name is K10. This little chocolate piece of deliciousness. But wait a minute. Why was I so disgusted when he had old girl cutting up his steak, feeding him, and feeding him his drink? I said, some bitches are so stupid. I know some real women that probably do that shit. But I was like, he's so motherfucking cute and masculine in this show. Like, so when he then presented all of them with these watches and he give Meech, he tell Meech, he say, I got something special for you, Meech. And it was Big L's motherfucking lips, bitch. He didn't even have to say it was Big L's lips. I knew it was Big L's lips, bitch. I said, oh, I got to talk to you about a few things before I get out of here real quick. I said, oh my God. Then he hit him on the shoulder and say, finish your steak. I said, this nigga is crazy. He's so crazy, I want to fuck him. I don't know why I be like that. He's so crazy, I want to fuck him. I said, oh, this is about to be. When he was outside of the game, he was in there coaching. And am I the only one that was trying to see his dick print when he had on that white linen suit, when he wore the cream suit or the peach suit or whatever the fuck it was, when he was coaching the basketball game at the beginning of the first episode on season two? When he was coaching and he was standing outside and dude walked up to him and they was talking, I kept trying to see his dick print. I needed to see it in my life. That's probably just a hazard of me not having sex. But I needed to see his dick print, child, because I just knew it was about to be beautiful in my life. But that motherfucker just pulled the gun. I thought he was just going to threaten him. No, he shot him. I knew then I wanted to fuck him. Oh my God. I said, he is crazy. So then I was a little turned off about the girl feeding him the steak. I'm just like, oh, he's a narcissistic motherfucker. So then when he come in and he eating another steak and Meech come in and he talking to him and he say he can have that other steak. He said, you know, eat it. We make the best steaks here or whatever. And he gave him them lips. I knew he was crazy. I knew then. Speaking of, this is why I said I'm going to talk to you about something else too before I get off here. Speaking of, child, I had told Malika last night because I have a fetish. I have a fetish and I've always had this fetish. I do not know why. So there is that video of Nelly on stage, right, that we talked about on Let's Have a Conversation. And he's like, over and over again, over and over again, right? All I could think about watching this, because I found a few of them that I was watching like for research, like, damn, that's crazy. And I'm watching, and one is up close, and the way he smiled. First of all, Nelly has always had a beautiful smile to me. He is fine. He has a beautiful smile. He is built like a motherfucker. But he kept doing like this, right? And he was doing hand signs. I wanted to smell under his arm so bad because that's my fetish. Child. I love to smell under a man's arms. I don't know why. I do not know why. I wanted to smell up under his arm because I have a fetish with that. And the mere fact that he was looking crazy as fuck on the stage, I wanted to fuck him. I said, oh my God, I know he smells good as fuck. I want to smell his underarm so badly. Malika said he does. He smells very good because she done met him before. She's like, yes, he smells really good. And I could tell, like, I just wanted to place my face under his motherfucking arm and lay down. You hear me? Like, That is a fetish of mine. Don't ask me why. I ain't gonna explain it to you. But I love to smell up under a man's arms. Like, not no musty shit. You understand me? He could even be sweaty. You know what I'm saying? But he must have on like some deodorant and smell good. But I would love the, like, the, is it called pheromones? Do men have pheromones? Like the pheromones or whatever it's called of the sweat and the deodorant. You hear me? Oh my God. I wanted to just fuck Nelly on stage. I don't know why I have this fetish. It is sickening. But I love to smell a man. Oh my God. Child. Mm, mm. And I have not smelled a man in a long time because I've been fucking with bitches. And I'm over it. I'm just trying to see. I just need to smell a man. I've never smelled under women's arms like that. You know, it's never been. I don't know why that fetish don't carry over to women. I don't. But this, this one, I wanted to. I don't know, crazy and smelling good. It just mixes for me. I don't know why. Anyway, before I get off, let me tell y'all. So the other day we did Let's Have a Conversation, right? On Let's Have a Conversation, me and Malika and Aubrey is sharing a, like, a secret kind of thing, and I keep saying my petty, right? Because as we're doing it, let's have the conversation. I'm working on my tarot deck on my phone. I'm working on them, and I sent them over one of the cards I've created, the Fool's card, right? And so I took it, and of course I cartooned it. And a lot of times when I'm doing it, I cartoon it more than one time. I may cartoon it on this app, take it to this one, cartoon that cartoon, and that's how I come up with some of the schemes that I do. But this particular one, I just cartooned it one time, and the first two that came through was fire as fuck. So I kept it. What is the card of the food card, you may add, that I asked, that I had sent to Malik and Aubrey, but I ended up sending it to the whole chat. I don't know how many of y'all remember that I talked about like a couple months ago that I was going through my Snapchat and I found a video from my ex who had put the video of her fucking with this dude in my phone in hopes that I found it. She put it in my Snapchat and I found it, right? The video is her with one of the vibrator machines playing with her pussy, and he keeps putting his hand in the in the video. And so I screenshotted it and I cartoonized it, and it's my fool card in my deck of tarots. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do? You're gonna what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do? It's in my phone. Like, why would you put it in my phone then? So it's in my deck of tarots as the fool's card. It's cartoonized as fire as fuck. I showed Toddy. She was like, you know what? You disguised that really good because I had to look at that again. I mean, she is a fool. You feel me? You tried to hide it in my shit. You kind of petty best, okay? So I created the fool's card out of that video. That's why they was looking, Malik and them was looking like, and it will stay that way. That is going to be the card. So maybe it's a reason that you should get the deck. Don't forget, each card out of the deck will be a t-shirt, too. because I can. Each card out of the t-shirt, out of the deck, will be a t-shirt. You shouldn't have put it in my phone. They're almost done. It's 78 cards. I have 35 of them completed. So it's going well. It's going well. Um, so this is the thing. It will be up for sale. The book will be up for sale, the Mennonite Bible book. I have not began pre-orders just because that gives me anxiety to do that, right? But they are a mixture of oracle and tarot. But the tarot, like say for the Three of Cups, it's the Three of Cups, but it has what it means on the deck, on the card, because I'm not gonna provide you with the book. Like it may give you some instructions, or it may come with like a folded paper, but I'm not providing a booklet with it. So right now it is you'll be able to understand what it says on it. You know what I mean? And it's going to be, it is a mixture of tarot and deities, some orishas, some loas, various pictures that I have of, like for my high priestess, it's a picture of myself that's cartoonized. And that's the high priestess card. I have a picture cartoonized of Adina that's in there. So it's so many. I used a picture of my ex, two of my three, all three of my exes. So it's the pussy shot that's in there, and then for the betrayal card, I used a picture that I cartoonized of me and Jamila. It's the betrayal card of honesty, like someone's not being honest, or, So I used a picture of us on my birthday because fuck you. Fuck all of them. And I mean it. You know what I mean? The devil card, that's very interesting you asked that because I worked on the devil card last night. I am a hoarder of pictures, and I keep a lot of pictures from history. And I was watching a program one time, and it was a whole bunch of, and I went through, and I found some other pictures about this. There is groups of genomes that were hanging people, and they all congregated together and were pointing at the dead body hanging in a tree. And so I use that as the devil's card. Yeah. So that's the devil's card. I will be blessing the cards and putting it with energy. The pussy card is the fool's card, like I said. I'm trying to think. It was a beautiful picture of a black woman of cosmos with an afro, and I took that and I cartoonized it like 3 or 4 times over. I cartoonized it on this, I cartoonized it on that, I cartoonized it on this, and then I brought it back over here and did it again. Like I cartooned the cartoon. And I created the Three of Cups for that. And you'll be able to see that is they're really dope. And I'm very proud of myself. I'm just waiting to get them all completed. I've been working very, very hard. The other X that I used, okay, I used Bazzy's Pussy, a picture of Jamela and myself at my birthday party. And it's the way she's looking at the camera that looks very sneaky and conniving. And so it's actually my picture, so I can do what I want with it. I own the picture. It was taken in my phone, so it's my picture. And so my other ex that I used was my ex boyfriend, Jerome Johnson from Tulsa. He was murdered right after his 21st birthday. But my sister and he were friends. They went to high school together, and she had given me a picture of him a few years ago for at his prom. And so I don't know how she got it or where I got it or whatever. I believe my sister gave it to me though. And so I used his picture for past, present, future. My past, present, future card. So I used that him type thing because he is my past, but he's also currently in my present because I've talked to him in the spirit. We've danced in the spirit. I know he watches over me a lot, and I love him still. I was 12 years old. He was the first love of my life. He was 18. He was my first everything. He was 18. I was 12. And he went to high school with my sister, but of course I didn't look like I was 12. So and of course he's from my past, he's my present, but my future I put him as future as well because the last time I had spoken with him, I was leaving Tulsa getting ready to move to Cincinnati, and he had talked to me on the phone the entire time I was getting ready, and I was crying, and he was like, don't worry about it. When you come back, we're going to live together, we'll move in, you're my future type shit. And so I used him for past, present, and future because I loved him and I still love him always and forever. Jerome Johnson. So the cards are dope. They're dope. Somebody said, what's BMF? BMF is the Black Mafia family, which is about Big Meech and his brother Terry. It's a show. So, yeah, I can't wait for y'all to see them. They're so dope. Um, yeah, yes, they're dope. And so now I'm getting ready to lay down and try to just focus and unfocus and refocus and whatever the fuck else is happening right now in my mind. Um, but I'm gonna work on my tarot deck so I can try to get these completed. Like I said, I have 35 out of 78. And each one takes a while to do. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to see it. But the way it cartooned, because on the picture, it's a prom picture, but it's a light that's shining that puts a glare on it. And so when I cartooned it, it didn't matter how I cartooned it, it took his mouth off. Almost like, and so I was like, well, damn, that could be this kind of card. And so I debated with myself, but I made it a card and I kind of like put the words over his mouth type shit. Um, but Jerome is the one that I said he had left my house. And I felt so bad because he left my house at like 3 in the morning. We would sit in the car. We would sit in the car and talk and shit and laugh. And he came over and we did that. And when he left, he was in a very, very bad car accident. He fell asleep at the wheel. I woke up at the time of the car accident because, like I said, he left my house, and I went in the house. I laid on the couch. I went to sleep, and he had went by his homeboy house where they all kind of like congregate the little spot. And so when he left there, he actually left me at like 12 or 1. And he stopped over there and was chilling with them. And then when he left there to go home, he was in a very bad car accident. And my TV was on. I had been watching Def Comedy Jam. So something just woke me up out of my sleep. And I sat up on the couch and the TV was like, shh. And I was looking around because it was like something woke me up. And the next day, his friend had called the phone. I was in bed with my sister because we shared a bed. And the friend called my sister phone or called our house phone, and my sister talked to him and said that Jerome was on the brink of death. He was in a car accident, and that's not how he died. He was in a very bad car accident. His whole side of his face was cut up. Like, his face never looked the same. He's still handsome to me. But it was cut up after that. And I was like, damn. Like, and so he made a full recovery. His body was fairly broken up as well, but he made a full recovery. Only for he used to tell me, he used to say, "Man, I never see my 21st birthday," because he was a crip. He was a crip, and don't get it wrong, because Tulsa they was dropping like flies. They gang bang out that motherfucker, and shooting constantly, and he was with his homeboy Bobo and his homeboy Rabini, and they were on their way to and my friend ended up having a baby by Bobo, and Bobo ended up getting killed too later in life. But I think I'm thinking Rabini may still be alive, but he was the wild one. He was the crazy one out the bunch. So he made a full recovery. He was with Bobo and Rabini, and I think maybe one other person. They were on their way to the rodeo. Rodeos are really big in Tulsa. Like it's like a really big thing, and it's not like just watching a rodeo. Like it's a show. It is a big thing. And I had never went, but I always wanted to go because I know how big it is. And so they were on their way to the rodeo. When they had passed, they was driving, and some Bloods was driving as well, like on expressway type shit. He said the rodeo is huge in Houston. It's huge in Tulsa. And they was driving on expressway, and Rabini seen the Bloods in the car, and he threw up the Crip sign, and it pissed them off, and they shot in the car and shot Jerome in his head and killed him. I was devastated because it was right after his 21st birthday, in which he kept saying he would never make it to be 21, and he did. His birthday is at the beginning of April, and he died like at the end of April or something, or he let me say it right because I was 13. Or he got killed at the beginning of April and his birthday was at the end. So he didn't make it. It's something like that. I cannot remember. But he used to say that shit all the time. And Rabini was the one throwing up the Crip signs. But it was Jerome that got shot and killed, like shot him in his head. I was so devastated because in my mind, we was gonna live together when I got old enough to come back. And so Jerome was the love of my life. At that time, I had broke his heart, child. I had him broke up with him because he was my first, and I had never like been with nobody else. But in my mind, like he had a girlfriend, an ex girlfriend named Tracy that he had been back and forth with. That she was like his high school sweetheart. And again, he was 18, so he had been through high school. I was like in the sixth grade when I started dating Jerome. And going to the seventh grade type shit, or seventh grade going to the eighth grade type shit. And so I felt like he might have been talking back to Tracy, but niggas was at me. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to be in this relationship. Um, I was pregnant at one point. I didn't even realize I was pregnant. Like the way I lost my second baby, my third baby, was how the first one went. So I always questioned if I was even pregnant because I took pregnancy tests and it was like negative, but my stomach kept getting like it was getting bigger. And I was like missing my period or whatever, and then I ended up coming on. And so I was like, well, shit, maybe I wasn't pregnant, but I believe I had a miscarriage. And just was like 12 and shouldn't have been fucking. You hear me? Type shit. And so I always count that because as a woman, you kind of know. So I was going to Gilcrease Elementary at the time. I mean, Gilcrease Middle School at the time. And so I broke up with him. I was like, I think we should see other people. He was so heartbroken. But I was trying to fuck with all the other niggas. There was so many niggas trying to talk to me because I didn't know that a couple of the eighth grade boys had been lying on me, saying that they had been fucking me. And I was a virgin still at this time. And so I'm like, that's when I told y'all the dean of students had called me in his office. And then he had said that shit to me when I told him that the teacher was being inappropriate and kept touching me in an inappropriate way. And he told me I was just mad because I couldn't have him because he was married. Yeah, that same stupid motherfucker. And so he had called me in the office and he was like, Miss Dean, the word is you easy. And I was like, easy for what? I was confused. At the time, I was dating Kunta Jordan. He was my little boyfriend in junior high. Uh, Kunta became very well known in Tulsa, so I was dating Kunta. I had grew up with Kunta actually. My father was good friends with his mom, and so in our project days, hey congregation, hey August. In my project days, Kunta and I grew up together, and then we ended up reconnecting back in junior high. And so I was dating Kunta. And then here come like Marcus Penny and Vegas was trying to talk to me and like all these guys were trying to talk to me and I was really really cute and my sister used to do my hair and so she did hair really well. I used to wear the long doodle braids and so what's up MC Kenny? And so I'm just thinking I'm just cute. You feel me? I'm thinking I'm just cute. I did not know. Yeah, cause fuck them. I did not know that all of these niggas was lying, saying they was fucking me, and they were all trying to talk to me in hopes that they was gonna get some pussy. And so when the dean, Mr. Harris, called me into the office, he was like, Miss Dean, they saying you easy. And I'm like, easy to do what? Easy for what? What you mean? He was like, you having sex with all these little boys. And I'm like, what? I'm a virgin. I've never had sex with nobody, sir. I'm afraid to kiss somebody. Like, me and Kunta kept setting up appointments to kiss. And I would never make the appointment because I was that shy. Like, eat something in front of a guy. Eat. Excuse me, girl, you might as well kill me. Eat something? No. So for me to kiss somebody was a big deal. So then it just was ugly, you know what I'm saying? And of course, my mom had passed, so I was like mentally fucked up. And then like these girls wanted to fight me and shit, and I'm like, bitch, I ain't never scared. Like, whatever you want to do, you know what I mean? I later found out that her in Vegas ended up having kids or whatever. I seen her later on in life, and she still had the same nasty stank attitude, like she wanted to fight. Bitch, you working at McDonald's? Knock it the fuck off. I came here to eat, bitch. Go ahead on. So I'm like, I had no idea, none. And so after that, I kind of went into a shutdown period where I didn't give a fuck. Once I found out about like that, you know what I'm saying? How they was doing, and then Mr. Harris, when I went in there and I told him, I said, Mr. Ware is very inappropriate with me. He keep rubbing on my shoulders, whispering in my ears. He's telling me like he wish I could be his wife. Like I'm in a fucking like sixth grade. He should not be talking to me like that. I knew that as a fucking kid. You feel me? And so Mr. Harris said, Miss Dean, I really just think that you're upset, because you have a crush on him and you can't have him because he's a married man. He's a married man. He's a grown man, motherfucker. My teacher. What are you talking about? Child, it came out later and that I heard right before I left the school that he was keeping young girls after school and was doing shit to them. So I just started feeling like I was like not protected. I had experienced some fucked up shit with my stepfather. And I just was feeling unprotected and I just kind of like shut down and I was staying with my grandma. And my sister had ended up moving out after a while. And like I was just going through starting a very, very rebellious stage because I just felt like fuck everybody. Nobody's protecting me. I must be grown right now because like all of this shit, like, no, bitch, I'm an adult. Fuck y'all. So I started writing on my pants. I was carrying Mad Dog 2020 to school. I was drinking at school. And that's when I got suspended. It was just like crazy. And so then I just like started fucking. Like after Jerome, and I broke up with him. That's another reason why I broke up with him. And I just started fucking. You know what I mean? It was like I adopted a mentality. I started hanging with older girls, like older girls, and they was teaching me how to steal and like teaching me how to fuck and all these different things. And the men became older and older that was trying to talk to me. And I told y'all, I was out at 11, I was going to the bars. You know what I'm saying? I was going to the Dragon Lady with one of my older friends who was 21. I was 11 hanging with Mona. You know what I'm saying? But I was also her babysitter too. So like my life had went in a downward spiral. My mom died when I was 10. And so each year it was like something happening. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like I was experiencing life at a very rapid pace. And I was just kind of like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And like, I was very angry with spirit, because I was tapped in very young. And spirit kept coming to me, telling me my mom was going to pass. And like, your time with her is coming to an end. And I'm like, I don't even know. That's so mean to me to be thinking like that. Why would I think that? I love my mama? And my mom passed, and it devastated the fuck out of me because I was praying when I kept hearing that she's going to pass. I was praying like, please don't do this. Don't do this to me, and I would pray really hard, like, and when she passed, it was like, fuck you. Said fuck everything. But I was still in my child mentality. But once all of this shit happened and they started doing that shit to me and all of this and the molestation and all of that shit, it was hands off. It was Katie Bardo. I didn't give a fuck about nothing or no one. I will fight you, bitch. I will bust your motherfucking. That's why it's so funny. I swear to God. Like, I've not had a fight in a very long time, and it's so funny because people don't really know. They think like one of my good friends, she was like, heard me saying like, I'll beat this bitch up, and this was years and years ago. I was like 22 or something, and she was like, girl, you don't fight. Like, girl, you don't know. You have no clue. Like, you have no clue, bitch. Like, fight, bitch. I rumbles, bitch. Please understand it. I just don't like to. I don't like the confrontation. Like, I literally would have to be backed into a corner. So when the girl kept like trying to bully me about the niggas who was trying to talk to me, when one of them happened to be her boyfriend, like I said, in junior high, she kept like trying to bully me. And like I told her, like, bitch, I ain't never scared. If you want to fight, like, bitch, it is what the fuck it is. But she never approached the situation. You know what I'm saying? So it was what it was. I just ended up like just wilding the fuck out. Like, I just started doing whatever. I didn't need to run away because I didn't give a fuck. Like, I'm going to do. That's always been my mentality. Always been me. Run away, sneak out. Who? Sneak, no. Nah. I'm just going to do what the fuck I want to do. If you don't like it, you don't like it. What was about to happen? You know my mama? My daddy live in Ohio. My stepdaddy is a pervert. Like, who? About to tell me something. You've always been, Granny, you've always been mean to me and my mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though we would go over there, like, she was always very mean to my mom type shit. And so it's like, I didn't feel like I had no love from nobody. So it was like, fuck you. I did what I wanted to do. And it just kind of progressively got worse. And it was the different experiences with people, like, that I just saw, like, life was just unkind, like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are very unkind. Life is unkind. Um, and so in the experiences of like having sex with these guys, you know what I'm saying? Some of them were my age, some of them were gang members, I just this particular year I just did what I wanted to do. I didn't know that the reputation from the past that did not belong to me was still following me. You understand what I'm saying? Because I had a reputation before I ever had sex. And so I've always been that kind of person. Like, if you accuse me of doing something I've never done, then I might as well give you a reason. You know what I'm saying? So I had I had fucked this one guy, and he was in my class. We went to school together, and I'm just thinking, like, like afterwards, I found out, like, that night, like right afterwards, I can hear them. It was mass guys at the window, like watching, laughing, and it was devastating for me. And so I just started having a fucking mentality. So then I started dating this one dude. He was a blood. He was older than me. Mind you, again, I'm still like 12, 13 years old. And was dating him. And, we had sex and found out it was some niggas standing at the window. Like, I don't know what that was about. Some little niggas standing at the window. One of them happened to be the one dude that I had fucked. That had the other nigga standing at the window. Like, but him and I, the blood and I, we dated for a good while. And my best friend at the time, I ended up moving in with her and her mom, but her cousin lived across the street at a diagonal, and the blood was her ex-boyfriend, but she was really, really in love with him, and she was like 17 with two kids type shit. They weren't his kids, but she was 17 with two kids. This bitch hated my guts. You know what I mean? Because I was fucking with him, and I'm like, bitch, I'm not gonna stop fucking with him. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you, sis. So, but me and my best friend that I had moved in with, which is Kelly Day, um, like, her mom worked at the bar type shit. And so she was not home for real. We was like running a motherfucking muck, bitch. We was running a muck. But her mom had ended up coming home early one day, and Kelly had a nigga in the house, and he had to jump out the window. And so she was like, nah, y'all doing way too much. You gotta go, Quantita. And I'm like, dang. So I was rejected by somebody else. It wasn't even my fault. You know what I mean? So I felt very rejected then, because I just was really looking for somebody to replace my mom. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to feel some type of love that she gave me, although my mom was in a very, very, very abusive relationship with my stepfather. And so before I had got put out of Miss Day house, it was a little young nigga that I had went to junior high with named Adonis. Now Adonis and I thought we was trying to date or be boyfriend and girlfriend, because again, I had just started fucking at this time. And so he had came over Kelly house, and we was like talking, and we laid in the bed and shit, and he got on top of me, but we wasn't fucking. But he wanted to, and I wouldn't give him none, you know what I mean? I'm like, no, you know. And so, like, we had went to school, and I had on like a little cute short outfit or whatever, short set. And I'm walking down the hall talking to my friend, and Adonis ran up behind me and pulled my pants down in the hallway in front of everybody. And I was very upset. And I was like, motherfucker, if you wanted to see it, all the fuck you had to do was ask. You know what I'm saying? And so when I went and reported him, like, I was shunned. I didn't go to Mr. Harris because I knew how Mr. Harris thought about me, even though it was all lies. So I went to the principal. Now, Mr. Harris was the dean of students, so I went to the principal and the vice principal, which was a woman, and they said they was going to investigate, see what happened. They called me back to the office and said that he said that you told him he could see it if he wanted to see it. What? He pulled my fucking pants down in the hallway. I was so unprotected by people, bro. I was very unprotected by people. I feel like a lot of shit happened to me because people just felt like they could, you know? Um, and so that's why I became the person that I became. Like, niggas would offer me money. I don't want your motherfucking money. I've never been a kept woman, never believed in it. You know what I'm saying? Please don't call me queen, call me Quatita Sugar. Um, I've never believed in letting a nigga take care of me. Like I had grown men offering me money and jewelry, and I would be like, I don't need your motherfucking money. No, you can't buy me. No. I had adopted like a nigga's mentality. Like fuck these niggas, I'll fuck these niggas and dispose of these niggas. Like fuck these niggas. Like that was the mentality. Love a nigga, bitch, bye. Love, I don't even respect the nigga. Like love him, bitch, I don't even respect them. Like fuck out of here. So I have been like molested time and time again over the years. So I had no respect for men, none. Like nigga, fuck you. I will argue with you. I'll fight him. I didn't give a fuck. Like what? Child, man. I had no respect for him. They be looking at me like I was crazy. I didn't give a fuck. And that's how I became homies with one of these. Different story, different time, a different crazy part of my life. It was the first time I had met the Richardsons. They was living on Brackenwoods in Cincinnati. It was like three of them. It was Jared, John. No, it was four. It was Eric, Jared, John, and Phil. Jared, John, Eric, and Phil. Yeah, the Richardsons. And my daddy and them and my cousin Emil and his wife Amy and my daddy and my stepmom, they had all moved on Brackenwoods, child. And, you know, I was just a very justification type person. Fair is fair. Don't be a fucked up person to somebody. Like, I just don't like it. You know what I'm saying? And one of my best friends at the time, like, she has a pinched nerve in her arm. Her hand is like that. And so I don't give a fuck. That was my nigga, like my bitch. Like, we cut the fuck up the whole friendship, bitch. We was out living, running the streets. We was in it. My grandma used to be like, "Are y'all prostitutes?" No, we just walk around. We walk everywhere, and we'd get a nigga to pick us up. We'd smoke their weed, drink their shit, drop us off, nigga. We don't give a fuck. Fuck y'all. Like, we had no respect for men, none. So we like feeling his niggas had said something fucked up to my friend, and like her feelings was hurt, and she had came up the street and told me like, now Brackenwoods is fairly a long street going into a cul-de-sac of apartments, right? So I'm up at the street like probably smoking some weed or type shit or something, and she came and told me like they was fucking with her, saying some shit, and I'm like, who was? She like, Phil. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, really? I look out there and it's like a crowd of niggas out there. I did not give a fuck. Like, I've done shit that probably could get a nigga killed and knock your head the fuck off. But it got me respect. I drug her ass down the street. She like, what the fuck? A bitch, let's go. No, bitch, let's go. I drug this bitch down the street. Come now. I walked her ass down the street. They was talking. I walked right in the middle. I did not give a fuck. Phil was looking at me. I said, what the fuck you say to my friend? I was like, you trying to disrespect my friend? I was like, it ain't no fucking disrespect. Nigga, apologize to my friend now. They was looking at me. Listen, I was like 14, 15 years old. I was like 14, 15 years old. I said, apologize to my motherfucking friend now. That's how I'm looking at them. They looking at me like this bitch is crazy. And am. Apologize now, nigga. Like I'm cutting the fuck up. He started laughing. He said, damn, I respect it. He said, I apologize. I'm sorry for what I said. Gratitude. I said, thank you. We walked back up the street. He's like, little mama, you crazy? Yep. And am. Yeah, that shit was crazy. I ended up fucking him later. She fucked him too. There was some crazy shit going on. I ended up fucking the other brother too. There was a lot of shit going on, child. It was a lot. She just fucked the other brother too. Like, it was crazy. We was fucking in the same room, brothers like bitch. It was crazy. It was a lot going on. I was like, whoo. He ended up getting killed. John ended up getting killed. I recently seen Jaron like a couple years ago. I know Eric is still living. He got married like 6, 7 years ago, type shit, I think. Jared had ended up, Jaron, he had ended up living next door to one of my good friends. I had seen him. We had stopped and talked. He used to love for me to like play in his hair, grease his hair, try to braid his hair and shit. But Phil ended up getting killed in another part of Westwood years later. And I think John had ended up getting killed in a car accident. But they mom, she was cool as fuck. Miss Renee was her name, and she had a boyfriend named Chucky. So this how I met them. Like I had been out to my daddy house. I was starting to just be out to my daddy house because it's like the summertime, and I'm like out to my daddy house. So usually I live with my grandma, and so I was at my daddy house on Brackenwood, and they had just moved out there, and they had met a few people, and so me and Lisa seen them, and I'm like, 'cause again, Lisa's my best friend at the time, the one I drug down the street. So we seen him. We like, who the fuck is that, bitch? Like, who is them? So we smoking. We didn't start smoking with them. We drinking, bitch, gin and juice. Fucked up in the bathroom, bitch. I'm on the floor throwing up type shit. Some of these times, child. So how I met, we go, and I was smoking cigarettes at this time. I was smoking Newports. Yes, young girl smoking. Listen, my life been crazy. And my family knew I smoked. My grandmother gave me permission to smoke. My father told her it's her lunch. She gonna do what she gonna do any day anyway. So my grandma said you can smoke. You just can't smoke in my house. Don't smoke in front of me. Cool, whatever. So I was smoking cigarettes. So we sitting in Miss Renee them house, and she came through the door. She was cool as fuck though. But this is why I respected her. She came through the door. She said, "Who the fuck told you you could smoke in my house?" I immediately put my cigarette right out. I'm so sorry. And she told me later, she said, that's why I liked you. Because you didn't like cut up, you didn't try to disrespect me. When I said what I said, you immediately bent down and put your cigarette out. Exactly, because I'm a respectful person. Like, no, ma'am, this your house. Like, if you say that, that means put that motherfucker out and no questions asked. You feel me? So her and I, we got along for a long time. They was real cool family, bro. Real cool family. But it was a lot of shit. My life been a motherfucking roller coaster of up and down shit, and as you can see, it ain't stopped. Like I've always had to defend myself. So when you hear me say that, that's what I'm talking about. Like I never had nobody to defend me. I had to defend and protect myself. That's why I go hard when motherfuckers come at me and attack me type shit. Like bitch, never gonna allow you to disrespect me. It's not gonna happen. Bitch, we'll argue all day long. You're never gonna disrespect me. It's not gonna happen. So I've just always been this way because I had to be this way. You know what I mean? And so to see how people try to come at me and dog me out, I'm a good motherfucker. Like I've always been this person. I'm a good person. Like, people say that and they be fucked up. I am not a fucked up person because I saw fucked up people growing up. And I never wanted to be like that. I never wanted to be a liar. I would steal some shit, but I ain't gonna steal at your house, bitch. I'll steal from Walmart. You feel me? I steal from motherfucking dealers, bitch, or Old Navy. But steal at your house? No. I am not a thief. Never. No. I will not steal from you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just going to be authentically me because I want to be a good person. I've seen way too many fucked up people in the world to be a part of that. I never, in my mind, I never wanted somebody to think fucked up shit about me because they've always thought fucked up shit about me. So that's why people like, why are you coming out of character? Why are you letting these people get to you? Why are you worried about what they saying? Because it's always been that shit. It's always been that shit. And so when I say leave me alone, that's what I'm telling you. Leave me the fuck alone. Because I do nothing. If I do it, I'm going to tell you I do it. And I'm going to stand in it. Because what? What we about to do? You want to fight? Let's go. But I'm still going to still say it. You're not going to stop me from saying that. Bitch, if your baby ugly, girl, I told this girl, I felt so bad one time. I told this girl that we was in high school, in junior high. I was like, bitch, you mad because your baby ugly? Everybody looked at me like, what? Oh, y'all didn't think the baby? Y'all know the baby's ugly. Like, bitch, your baby ugly, your baby ugly. I'm sorry. I like you. I had to change that part of me. Like, bitch, you can't always say what the fuck you want to say. Oh, okay. Because in that mentality, I was like, I say what I want to say. What you about to do? You want to fight? Let's go. I'm still going to say it. The fuck. So I am like that in real life. Like, I'm 43 now, so I've learned to control it. I have learned to be a better person than what I was because you said what about her? Hold on. Are you aware that this is how she feel about you? Cause I don't know why she telling me, but she told me, and you could tell that bitch I said it. So I'm telling you, bitch, that she said it. They looking at me like you're a troublemaker. No, I'm not. If you can say it to me, bitch, you can say it to her. Cause I'm gonna say it to whoever the fuck. I'm gonna say it. But I've had to learn not to try to hurt people's feelings. You know, so I kind of monitor the things that I say and the things that I do. But I've always been a really good person because I want to be, you know. I just want to be a good person. I've always been a person that loved God. I just was angry at God for taking my mom and for allowing me to go through the bullshit that I went through. But I understand too now that my journey and my walk, when I tell you I've experienced everything in my life, damn near for real, I just ain't died. Gratitude, spirit. You know? Well, I did. I experienced that. Well, okay, so gratitude. You're right. You're right about it. So yeah, I've experienced everything and I can understand, I can empathize and I can sympathize with anyone. I've lost gestational children. Like I've not had a child to die, you know, gratitude on that spirit. I have not experienced that. But my best friend, that's her daughter. My best friend's daughter was stabbed to death and murdered in the house. You know, like she had just been at my house. She was 18 years old. So I've lost babies in gestation, but I've never experienced that gratitude one more time, spirit. You know, but I've experienced a whole bunch of shit. I done been in jail. I used to be a stripper. I used to do drugs. I smoked weed. You know, I've been a party person. You know, and I've been a Christian. Never liked that. Did not like that. Never felt right for me. I have done and been damn near in every situation. And I gratitude the spirit for that because now anybody can talk to me about something that I'ma understand. And when I tell you it's a judge-free zone, it's a judge-free zone. You know what I'm saying? You was a stripper in Philly, cause period. You know, so it's a judge-free zone. You know what I'm saying? If a motherfucker do me wrong, bitch, I'm gonna do you back wrong. I am not a real forgiving person like that for real. You know what I'm saying? I'm a good person, but I ain't no real forgiving person. Like I'll forgive you, but bitch, you can't never talk to me again. Ever. You can never talk to me again because I don't care. Like even if you come to me and you apologize, I'm accept it and I love you. And that's the gist of it. You may reach out to me a couple times and I'm going to ignore the fuck out of you until you who to say, don't be that person. And I'd be like, fuck. Y'all, some of y'all have been with me for a long time and you have seen me click the fuck out on somebody on the live and you who to say, you are wrong. Apologize now. And I'd be like, what? Apologize. You are wrong. And I'd be like, fuck. I'm sorry. I apologize. I was wrong. I would even come back later, even if Yehuda don't tell me. Sometimes I have to sit with something, you know. I have to sit with it, and I'd be like, "Damn, I was fucked up for that." Don't like that in my soul. That feel fucked up to me. You could have handled that better. You didn't have to say that. If I don't come back to it, it means I really believe and I feel that I'm correct in that situation, and Yehuda is allowing me because he understands that I'm correct in that situation. But I will come back and correct myself and be like, okay, so listen, y'all. But no, my life has been very chaotic and fucked up. And I still show gratitude to the spirit for it. They want my heart to be hard. They want me to be a fucked up person. I'm never going to allow life and the evil workings to make me a fucked up person because you don't have that kind of power or control over me. I'm not going to do it. Not going to make me do it. Nope. Nope. I'm not. So anyway, I love y'all. Greetings, Tanika. I love y'all. And I appreciate y'all for appreciating me. And I'm gonna get to working back on my tarot deck. You know what I mean? Who is it, Deanna? Who is it? Donna. I think it went very fast. But anyway, I love y'all. Gratitude for story time, for listening. Um, you can always make another choice. Let me say that. Gratitude, Yehuda. Because I was supposed to say it in my post that I made about BMF. Um, you can always make another choice, right? And I'm not talking about just selling other drugs because they was dope dealers. I'm talking about his parents. That is one thing that has angered me through this whole series is Big Meech and Terry's parents. Because I felt like they made a division between their children. And you can always make a different choice. You can always be different. You can always be a better person. I don't give a fuck if you felt like you was a bad person all your fucking life. The moment you choose is the moment it was chosen. And you don't owe nobody no explanation. You don't owe nobody no, you may owe some apologies, but you don't owe no explanation. You don't owe nobody no proof. Like, oh yeah, you a changed motherfucker. Yeah, right. Like, if those people don't want you to change, those are the people that are infections. You cut them the fuck off out of your life. You never allow somebody to tell you who you are. And that is what's the problem with the genomes. They want us to fall under their spell and believe the shit that they told them to tell us and the shit that we've been told and taught about ourselves. We are not that. And you don't have to allow nobody to make you be a fucked up person or put you in a fucked up situation. You don't have to. And watching BMF, I felt like they made a division between Terry and Meech. They praised Terry all the whole time he was selling dope and was telling the girlfriend, like, I'll never get out of this shit. I love this shit. Meech was just open about his shit, that he loved that shit. He was a street nigga. You know what I'm saying? But even in that, that's because they didn't understand. You feel me? But just talking about the character of the parents. And so the mom sat in her room for what, like 2 days, devastated because she found out Terry was selling dope. Terry had been selling dope from the fucking beginning. But they made a difference. Don't make a difference in your fucking children. I don't care if it's step kids and your biological kids, you don't make a difference. Be the voice or be the change or be the loving, be the love that that child needs. I don't give a fuck, even if you feel like, because I've come across children like 12 and 13 and they are liars and fucked up people already. And it's like, how did you get here? But that is because they didn't know they had a choice to be anything different. And whatever they saw, like, I could have went a different way because of my life. I've not only been molested all my life, I was raped at 21. I was held down and raped in front of my daughter. Not to mention beat in several relationships. I mean beat. Some on the brink of death. And you still can't break me. I'm still not going to be that fucked up person. I'm still not. And you're still going to respect me. I'm still going to demand it. I'm still going to be me. Because you can't make me not be me. And me has always wanted to be a good motherfucker. Sometimes people are so fucked up in their own mind and their own space, they don't want you to be good to them because they don't know it. They don't know what that's like. They not used to it. They used to chaos, and so they want you to give them that. Like I've heard women say that they need their man to abuse them to feel love because they don't understand nothing else. They don't know nothing else. We have to be the change we want to see in people. You got to show people what the nothing else looks like. Gratitude, mama. You got to show people what the nothing else look like. You ain't got to be that shit. You ain't got to be that kind of product of your environment. I don't give a fuck if you was a bitch that used to rob niggas and set niggas. I don't care. The moment you choose to be something else is the moment that you chose it, and it is what it is. You can always motherfucking choose to be something different. You ain't got to do that. You ain't got to be that. You ain't got to stay in a relationship and let nobody put their motherfucking hands on you. You ain't got to stay in a relationship and be beat and misused and mistreated. You ain't got to. Because I said you don't. But the Spirit said you don't too. You're free people. They just don't want us to know that we're free. And they have fucked up our people in such a way that men and women alike think it's okay to abuse each other. That shit is not. Choose. You can make a choice. And fuck whoever don't like your choice to be something greater than you ever thought you could be. I am a young black Melanite woman portal from Tulsa, Oklahoma, who didn't think much of the world or the people in it. But I chose. And you can choose too. And I love y'all from a very, very genuine fucking place. And I'ma always be honest and transparent about myself, my life, and who I am. Because, bitch, you can't make me feel bad about my past. I went through it already. I stand in it. You can't make, nobody can't make you feel bad about nothing you done been through. Just like you can't make me feel jealous about a bitch I already didn't have. A nigga I already had. What am I jealous about? Sitting up crying at night? No, I'm not. Y'all are going to be okay because we all going to be the fuck okay. I show gratitude to y'all. Each one of y'all means something in this world. Each one of y'all are greatness. Each one of y'all are worth every motherfucking beautiful thought that you could even think or imagine about yourself. Give yourself a dream. Give yourself an opportunity. Give yourself a time to rise. It is one band, one motherfucking sound, bitch. One band, one sound. One band, one sound. If a motherfucker try to disrupt your sound, you get rid of them. Gratitude. I love y'all to life. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.